Here we go. Welcome back to the GSAC tournament. This is the second match in the group stage between Bemusicality and metalcore, and this is the second map within that match. Each match is a best of 5 with a couple weird rules in this matchup specifically. But before you get into that again, I probably won't get into it, but let's introduce these players. So in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Terran player, Bemusicality. And in the top right, we have the Zerg player, random player I should say, metalcore. So metalcore already showing off with this nice extractor trick. I got there a little bit late for you to see that, but in case of anyone at home doesn't know, when you're making a second overlord here, you're always almost going to be supply capped for a little bit. It's just kind of how Zerg opens. So what Zerg players have started to do is to use one drone to go into the Vespian geyser gas, and that'll free up one supply because the drone will be transformed into a building for that to happen. So then you build one extra drone, then you cancel the building, get the other drone back, and now you're at 11 out of 10 supply, which just keeps the production going a little bit. So, I mean, if you don't do it, I mean, it's really doesn't really make that much difference. But if you can do it, it's a neat little trick to keep your production going a little bit. So it looks like metalcore, he went pool first, keeping it safe, especially close spawns here on way station, and then right into the hatchery. And this is important for Zerg because Zerg should always be one base ahead of Protoss and Terran. And that's just because their units are designed that way. They're designed weaker, so they're more about getting rid of a whole bunch of units and then remaxing immediately, which is how, which is the point of these hatcheries, right? Because without the extra mineral bank plus the hatcheries for the larva, you're not going to be able to remax that quickly. So already here, good anti Overlord death right now from metalcore again. You know, coming in and see a couple Marines standing here that you just leave because you don't want to destroy an Overlord for no reason. And here's the scout from Bemusicality, sees that hatchery, so he knows there's no sort of 6-bullet up. 6-bullet would have already hit, but no sort of early rush on one base. So that's good for him. Queen already coming out. A gas being taken. This is interesting here for metalcore because a lot of people, they won't get this gas till a little bit later. You know, maybe, I don't want to say 6-minute mark, but you know, maybe 5.5, 6-minute mark. And that's just because they want to drone really heavily and get their economy going. You know, they can always make Zerglings to defend, but I think in this tournament where metalcore can only lose one game, this is smart because it's just giving him the time to go into banelings or roaches or something like that a little bit quicker. And yeah, you're going to see the roach warren. And roaches do cost gas, so if you want to defend with roaches here, you're going to need to get this gas a little bit quicker. So that's a good little defensive gas, which is really nice for him. Third queen here being about to pop out. So you have 2 queens for the inject larva in each base, and the third one here is just doing creep, which is good. I even like it when you do it in the base because then it just gets people from the base to the attacking point here a little bit quicker. But enough of metalcore, you know, he's supply locked, that's not good. But let's see what Bemusicality is doing. So Bemusicality actually opting, instead of the 1 barracks into 2 more barracks, he went right into tech here for this. He's going siege tank into starport. And let's see, did he see the roach warren? Because the siege tank is a really great anti-roach play. And no, he didn't. So this is really interesting. You know, these players have played each other before. So, and metalcore is known for doing roach hydra and not necessarily muta baneling zergling. So this is a pretty good, you know, metagame kind of strategy coming out here for Bemusicality, and I really like that a lot. Obviously, if you scout it, that's probably better, but just as a metagame strategy, I like it a lot. Already with the wall off, a little bit late, but at least he's getting the wall off down. And let's see if he does anything with this tech, because if you get this tech early, you don't want to just make defensive siege tanks, right? Because you can do that later. You don't really need it until the mid to late game, but he got this, early mid game. So you want to, do a drop or try to get this siege tank in a more, putting pressure on this third base now that's almost done for metalcore or something like that, instead of just waiting around here. And if he waits around here, it's going to cost him, in as far as economy. Oh, I mean, his economy is okay because he got the second base pretty early, but it's going to cost him upgrade wise and production wise. Army supply right now 16 to 15, but worker supply heavily in favor of metalcore, and that's just because Zerg can use their production for either worker or army. So it's not necessarily that it's not necessarily because he's got more bases. It's just that, imagine these barracks could produce, Marines or SEVs, and that's basically all of the difference that is. Already nice. This is good creep spread already from metalcore, and this is going to give him his map vision. But he also has 2 Zerglings at both Selnaga watchtowers, plus an overlord at this third base and 1 at this third base. So he's got really good map presence right now. And in StarCraft 2, that's one of the most important aspects of the game, is scouting. Because if you know that your opponent's moving out, as Zerg especially, you can stop droning and start getting units. And that's what metalcore's doing right now. He feels like he's at a good drone count. So let's just see what that is. 60 drones. So that's pretty good. Most professionals go from probably 60 to 80, so still not perfect. But he's got 3 fully saturated bases now, and that's what you want. A little bit, nobody getting in this gas though. It's a bit of a mistake. But yeah, already with a macro hatch and 1-1 coming down, this is pretty good already. 3 barracks being produced on the other side of the field though, and this is probably a little bit late because you can see Bemusicality already hovering a little bit of minerals. Same thing though goes for metalcore. So both of these people could be macroing a little bit better. Also, I feel like Bemusicality's map presence isn't quite there yet, just because of, he could be denying this creep. He doesn't need to commit to anything. Just move out with like 5 Marines, come in here, and medevac. Obviously, there's no mutas on the field. So the medevac and the Hydro's just finished. So the medevac's going to go pretty much uncontested, and you just move out here, get rid of some creep, go back. And what you're doing there, especially if the Zerg is droning, you're going to make him stop droning, produce units because he thinks an attack is coming, and then you just walk away. And that hurts his economy in the long run. Some Vikings here. This is a great move that I don't see a lot in our level of play. Getting these Vikings to get rid of some overlords, even though there's not many right now, is a really great move by Bemusicality. And I don't know, I feel like one thing he could do though, I don't know if he's doing it right now, it doesn't look like it, is just, hold down your shift key and then just attack move all this area. So you don't have to worry about them, because right now they're moving to one place and then he has to come back and command them to move a second place. And that's just a bit more work that you don't need to do. Alright, so what else we have going on? Over at metalcore's base, we have some Zergling speed started. I also have this Baneling nest that finished. So, and this is just because I can tell you guys since I played it that my minerals started hovering really high. I don't know, before it was probably around 2,000 minerals. And as Zerg, you can either kind of make, get your gases earlier, which metalcore did not, or you can make drones or Zerglings. So at this point I felt, had a good drone count, so I just started making Zerglings, and Zerglings aren't good unless you have Banelings and Zergling speed, especially Zergling speed. So Baneling speed also coming in now. So that's why you see these Zergling upgrades here going on. But mainly Roach Hydra Force. And if he wasn't so gas starved, metalcore would be making a lot more Roach Hydra units. But it looks like he's moving out here. He's checking for the third base over here. Not going to find one. Bemusicality may be getting it a little bit late because you see metalcore already has his 4th up, already getting the gases immediately because of that gas problem. But yeah, he just, you know, went to check the 3rd base and then left. Mine's even trying to take down these 2 Vikings, and he will do so. So he takes down those 2 Vikings, always good pick off. And look, this creep spread is getting out of control now. Already more than half the map, you know, obviously not in these areas, but this is the part that you need to worry about, you know, where when the army's coming in, already half the map in creep. And I mean, it's more than that. I mean, like, here's the edge of Bemusicality's base, and then here's the creep. So it's really close. And I think metalcore's going to go for attack now. He's got 21 Banelings morphing. He is supply capped, so it makes sense for him to attack right now. We'll see how this goes. +2 also on the way for metalcore. Bemusicality just scanning this back base, making sure that metalcore did not take it. He is taking the back base, but an overlord sees it. And that kind of sucks, because the Vikings did go out hunting for these guys, and he didn't find this one. But in the meantime, metalcore putting a spire, since he saw that back base, but let's see how this army fares. And yeah, you look at the siege tank line. Siege tank's so good against Roach Hydra, and I believe that's the first time metalcore saw the Roach Hydra come out. So this is just, you know, the meta game that went into this is just so incredible by Bemusicality. He's just playing a great match right now. And obviously the Roach Hydra just got demolished there, you know, it wasn't even close. But with the Spire, metalcore is going to look to remax on Mutalisk, because he wants to get rid of this base, because this is dangerous. You don't want Terran on 3 bases any time of the day. And with the Mutalisk, he has the opportunity to attack this, because otherwise you have to move in with the Overlords and do the Overlord drop. And, you know, that might be somewhat effective, but it's also a lot more risky, because you're risking not only your army with the drop, but you're also risking the Overlords themselves, which help with the supply. So if you lose like 5 Overlords and you're trying to remax your army and you can't because your supply blocked, like, that's a really big problem. Already with the +2 carapace coming down, +1 melee attacks for Zerglings, so it looks like metalcore, yeah, with this mineral count, he's probably gonna go into the Mutalisk Zergling style and stop producing Roach Hydra. And that's just because of these siege tanks, you know. How are you supposed to break this if you're metalcore? And the answer is you don't. You know, you can defend, you can black out these new bases being formed here, but there's no way you're going to attack up this middle base. And what I would do right now if I was Bemusicality is first of all clean up this creeper spread, because it's basically at its base, and that is quite disturbing. But also move his siege tank line out here, because it's just a little bit better to defend this 3rd base and then this 4th. And this 4th already got cancelled here by the Mutalisk, which is always great. They're going to move down and try to clean up this base. But it also looks like metalcore is coming down with this 2nd army that he's made here. He's going to try to break the front again, which is pretty risky, you know. It's still mainly Roach Hydra, and you do not want to be attacking into siege tank line with that. Mutalisk coming in now, but that's not going to work out. But they did clean up this base, and that's a big deal, you know, because once again, just like in the last game, Bemusicality is stuck on 2 bases. And, first of all, first fight here going on. But yeah, siege tank's just wrecking. And at this point, metalcore, he just wants to get rid of these Roach Hydra forces, you know, take out as much as he can, but he doesn't really care. And that's just because he's got the bank, he just wants to remax, and he is remaxing while this is going on. Because you don't want your supply used up in forces that you know are not going to be effective. But at the same time, this is scary. Because right now, 190 to 120, or 30 I guess, supply, sable sound. Army supply 117 to 71. And that's being changed here very shortly. But if Bemusicality walks across the map right now, he wins. Like, straight up, he wins. But if he waits until metalcore is remaxed, then it's not that easy, you know? And he's not you know, he's doing a good job here cleaning up the creep, but I feel like if he just went and attacked, it would have been a lot better. And also, I didn't mention this before, but this is a problem. 1-1 now just being started. We're 20 minutes in the game. You know, metalcore is at 2-1, and that's because he went for a lot of, you know, missile heavy attacks before with the Roach Hydra. You know, those upgrades, they were at like 2-2. So metalcore's really kind of at a 3-3 level of production. This is a good drop. When against a 0-0, like, that's not good. These upgrades are way late. You know, he should be, you know, at least 2-2 if not 3-3 at this point. Oh, big attack over here. Counter attack. This is good. Look at those baneling hits. Clearing up the entire army of Bemusicality. And that was really good. That's what metalcore needed to win. This, on the other hand, that's not what he needed. Siege Tank's doing so much work, but these mutalisks are going to come and clean them up. Now that the Marines are gone. And this trap did get cleaned up. So, and look at these mutalisks. They're just going to town on these Siege Tanks. Destroying every single one. And this makes it so that metalcore can remax on whatever he wants now if these Siege Tanks are gone. Still, you know, still not enough production here, I feel like, by Bemusicality. Only on 5 barracks. I feel like he should have more, especially with third base up. And these SUVs really need to get down to that third base soon. Should probably even make it a planetary just because of how close this creep is and how hard it is to defend these areas. But as you can see, metalcore is on 5 bases now just for the gas because he was so gas starved. Against just still 2 bases over here for Bemusicality. Oh, a little bit of lag. He is taking this back base once again, but unless he puts down a bunch of missile turrets, it's not going to matter. And SUVs, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. Just chilling over here. They really need to go start mining on this third base. I mean, how much mining time is lost here just because these SUVs are just standing around. And he even moved them, so I'm not quite sure what's going on there. But like, look at the remax here because of this bank. The remax for metalcore is so good right now. He even is going for the infestation pit so he can get 3-3 and maybe even work up to infestors. Just to lock down Bemusicality's army with the fungal growths. So, I mean, even now, this creep's still like out of control. It's receding, but it's so slow, and it was so close. I mean, so close to Bemusicality's base, and these mutants got to come in here for a second flyby of this base, and there's no missile turrets, so all these guys are going to die. You know, he's not going to risk picking people up in the medevacs and trying to drop them down. You know, the mutants are going to target fire that and just kill everybody inside. So this is just gone now. And that's a real shame. And this base is still not mining. There's all these SFVs not mining. That's a problem. That's a big problem. Still, just 2-2. You know, at this point, 3-3's done. And when 3-3's done, this army composition becomes ineffective. And that's when you see the tech over to Infestor Ultralisk. So, you know, with the army being as it is for metalcore, this 3-3 is making a really big difference, you know, in how these fights are going. We're going to see a move out now with all the SUVs, so this is all in now for Bemusicality. And against this kind of composition, these, yeah, look at these banding hits going to come up here. You know, just say goodbye to everything that's there. Really good engagement here on metalcore's part coming from both sides, and that's going to be game, because, you know, that's all of its SUVs, and there it is, GG. So, metalcore is up 2-0 in this series, just needs to win one more to be victorious, but same goes for Bemusicality. So anything can go on in this final game. I'll see you guys there. Thanks for watching.